It's Monday night. It's the Raw review, and a very happy birthday to DA Wrestling Zone, Andrew Purcell.
Yep.
Andrew, what's going on, dude? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's my birthday. 42. Still look younger than most people and still look better than
In
most
better
people as
shape than
well.
most 42-year-olds I know.
Very
And
true.
on tonight's show, we will go over a very decent episode of Raw from San
Yeah,
Antonio,
truly was.
uh, including Cody and Seth, forming the alliance,
Yeah.
hinting at accepting the tag match that we were talking about Friday.
That was kind of an obvious thing they were going to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
we
it,
have an answer as to who is going to face Gunther, as
yeah.
we got a gauntlet match coming next week, but we'll get into that.
I feel that's going to turn into a
First,
fucking shit show.
first, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about AEW Revolution last night.
Let's talk about AEW Revolution. Let's talk over some highlights.
Yeah, yeah. So
Let's talk about how we like and subscribe to all our content, guys. If we can, it'd be greatly appreciated. Right? We love it very much if you guys do. It helps us out a
your
million times.
your cheap plugs always
Cheap
pop.
plug. Go
Yeah.
Leafs. Cheap plug. Go Leafs.
Anyways, yeah. So the first one I want to talk about. Okay, Wardlow backed up that promo by winning that scramble match.
I'll be honest with you. I saw that he won that, and I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised either. They're going to heat him back up. He's going to be a challenger probably in the next few months.
Yeah.
Um, we saw the return of Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. Core Combat came back. He looks scruffy. He looks like he just came out of a homeless shelter. No
He
offense.
doesn't look like a kid anymore.
No.
He
He
actually
looked
looks like a grown ass man.
Yeah, I'm wondering where that story is going to go right now because he didn't exactly join the Undisputed Kingdom. He kind of whispered something to Roderick Strong. I think he wants to go for that title. That's my guess.
Perhaps. And speaking of that, O'Reilly returned after Roddy beat Orange Cassidy for the international title.
Which I think we called months ago.
Yeah, they were heating Roddy up. And I would not be surprised if Undisputed Kingdom tries to do what Undisputed Elite did in NXT and just hold all the gold.
Yeah, I think
But there's a lot of gold in AEW, and I don't think they can hold them all.
no, they would need a couple females.
Yeah.
But no, that was kind of called for like from the get go. To be honest, like I think the future for them is really good. I'll be interested to see what they're going to do with Kyle O'Reilly. Like Kyle he's been gone for a while. Who knows what his real
Almost 2 years he's been gone. It's my understanding he had neck fusion surgery.
Yeah.
While he was out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, he's been battling on and off with that neck for a few years, not just the last two.
Yeah, it's been going on since his NXT days.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, O'Reilly's back. Joe retained versus Swerve and Hangman.
Yeah, not really surprising, but kind of surprising too the way things were going with Swerve.
Well, I mean, Hangman let the blood feud kind of get in the way of his title ambitions, and Joe capitalized.
Yeah, he's looking really. This is a different type of heel. I actually interested to see. I'm kind of liking this heel. I guess he's not really a heel, but he's kind of
We'll call him a
slowly.
tweener.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I mean, he still looks like Magnum TA, which is, I guess,
He's
fine.
he's
But
he's like Drew McIntyre, where like he's
McIntyre's
still
funny.
he's still at his core, he's still like the moral, upstanding guy that you've seen on TV for years, but he's kind of leaning more into the heel tendencies.
Yeah.
Where he's not afraid to take a shortcut to win or anything like that.
No.
Um, Joe's next challenger, I still think is going to be a one-on-one match with Swerve.
I
Uh,
think I think he might actually go through both of them one on one. Actually, I think he might go through
possi-
Page first.
Possibly. I think maybe Page gets the shot first and
Yeah,
Swerve costs him.
yeah, and then vice versa.
Possibly.
You can see kind of almost see I think I can almost see it being almost a four match. They've had what, 2 matches now, right?
Yeah, and Swerve beat him both times.
Okay, so I can almost see it being a 4 match thing where
Mm,
Page goes first, Swerve costs him, then Swerve goes after Joe, Hangman costs him. Then they do one to see who goes against Joe without anybody getting in the way. And then I think maybe that's where maybe Swerve wins. Or maybe they want to throw Wardlow in there somewhere too, because Wardlow did win that
hmm
that little match at Revolution. So
What I did notice was there was no Face of the Revolution ladder match this year.
no, I think that was I think that the 8 man. Well, it was supposed to be the meat lovers match, then turned into that 8 man thing.
Um,
I think that was kind of their version of it, or what they decided to do instead.
yeah, um, which is fine. I
Yeah.
mean, Christian retained again.
In a pretty
Uh,
good opening matchup.
yeah,
Tony
but
Storm
then
retained.
yeah, well, yeah, and that match by most accounts was kind of a dud. But let's get to the two kind of big talking points coming out of Revolution. Will Osprey and Konesuke Takeshita. I love
Put on
saying
a
that guy's name.
clinic. Put on a clinic.
Yeah. Even like Meltzer immediately after calling it a match of the year contender.
Yeah,
Um, and
and
he
it's
called
only
he
March.
called it he called it even better than Osprey and Oku from like 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
which was like 6 stars to Meltzer. So that's pretty high praise.
Yeah.
Um, listen, there's nobody hotter on the planet right now in professional wrestling than Will Osprey.
The future AEW champion. There's that probably in all that is going to happen.
And I mean, like, no disrespect to Cody, no disrespect to Roman or anything like that, but like, I guess I'll preface it by saying outside of WWE,
That's probably best.
there's nobody hotter than Will Osprey.
No,
Um,
it's kind of hard to argue it. I mean, and to be honest, he's a dude you can relate to. He's he's
he,
he's like he's almost like when I think about it, like Cody,
mm,
because Cody can very much relate to
mm-hmm.
as a character, right? Or as because a lot of people like what Cody is kind of what Cody really is in real life. It's just amplified a little bit,
Can
right?
you believe he is only 30 years old?
30 years old, and he's going to has another, let's say, 10 years.
He's got like 10, 15 years on him if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, we'll say 10 for now. I think that's
Yeah.
probably best, right?
Listen,
Because some of the shots he took last night are all like the way they look. It looks like it's shortening career.
right. But we did see the return of the Tiger Driver
Yeah.
last night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he nailed Takeshita with it. Um, but I definitely need to go watch that if I can.
Oh, sure, you can find on YouTube somewhere.
No, I'm sure. Anyways, let's get to the main event. It was Sting's last match, a really cool entrance.
Yeah,
He they
that was his kids, right?
yeah, those
That's
were
what I thought.
his two sons who even got involved in the match later
Yeah.
on. And
Mm-hmm.
by the way, I will say kudos to Matthew and Nicholas for double super kicking Ric Flair. Thank you very much.
I swear to God, though, I've seen highlights of that match too, and
Darby Allin's going to end up
he's
dead.
gonna kill himself or end up crippled, one or the other. Like,
Well,
like
to be
that.
fair, that's if he survives climbing Mount Everest at the end of the month.
That was actually. I heard that was he's going to be doing. He's taking like 2 months off and going to climb Mount Everest. Oh, good for him.
Yep. He's going to climb Mount Everest, and
I'm sure he's gonna. I'm sure they're gonna fly him up a few thousand feet first, then drop him.
I don't know. Maybe he'll just do it legit.
Who knows? We'll find out.
But yeah, he's leaving March 27th, apparently.
So
Um,
you gotta figure those. Well,
so Sting and Darby retained.
yes.
I don't know how Darby got up after
Yeah,
that.
that's kind of what I'm talking about right there.
And the gash on his back is is not for the squeamish people like myself.
No, he's not. I mean, guys, comment down below if you guys think that Kirby's like insane and might, need some serious mental
Dude,
help.
listen, no, we already know he's insane because when he was still nursing a shoulder injury, he was on Nitro Circus,
Hmm,
tried a front flip or something on a motorbike and landed right on his shoulder.
what a dick.
But
Well,
I mean,
I'm interested to see what
I
goes on
can't
now with
I
this.
can't think of a more perfect way for Sting to go out,
Hmm.
especially the fact when you consider his WWE run did not end on his terms.
No, well, that was a boo boo by Seth Rollins, and
Not entirely.
not entirely, but it was a bit of
No,
a boo boo.
like it's come out since. Like, yes, everyone blames Seth originally, but
I know
it's
Sting
come out
has.
since that it was just kind of like the way he hit the buckle.
Mhm.
I mean, his spine just kind of gave out, and but for him to take, so that match happened in 15.
Yep.
He came back in what, 19 or
Yeah.
2020.
He came back and he came back during the pandemic at Daly's place. So 2020, 2021.
Okay, so and then for him to wrestle 30 more matches, and you cannot find a bad match amongst those AEW matches.
No, he did some crazy shit too. Like he went
He
through some stuff at his age. Like,
he stepped his game up.
yeah, he did a lot. He, Sting is the consummate professional
Oh,
for his entire career.
the one thing I heard all week was like he's the one guy in wrestling that nobody had a bad thing to say about.
Yeah, I remember Jericho saying this too. He posted on it saying nobody has had a bad thing to say about Sting.
No. And as somebody that watched Sting as a youngster, I mean, we talked about it on
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
You know, I watched Sting as a youngster, and like that dude was like my superhero for a few years. So, and to see him go out like this, um, kudos to, Matt and Nick Jackson for, you know, giving him a match he can be proud of to go out on. And,
Yeah.
and now he gets to enjoy retirement. Good
I'm
for him.
interested. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with those tag titles now because like
I actually know what they're going to do with them because
there's
they
going to
are
be a
now
tournament.
vacant.
Oh, they vacated them.
They are now vacated, and there will be a tournament to decide the new champions, which I'm assuming is going to conclude at AEW Dynasty, which was announced during the show. It's going to happen April 13th or 17th, somewhere around there.
I think the Bucks are going to take the titles there. Then
Possibly, possibly.
I mean, I like to see the House of Black if they ever come back.
Yeah.
But it'll probably the Bucks. More than likely.
Anyways, on that note, I mean, by all accounts, Revolution was a badass show. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's something I need to do. All right, let's get into Raw, dude.
In a
So
Raw.
Raw kicked off
It's
with
Monday.
Raw kicked off with Cody in the ring, cutting a promo.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, basically bringing up the Rock's 21-minute Instagram promo that he cut before SmackDown, which apparently is because he didn't have time on TV to say everything he wanted to say. So
Get out of here.
when you add the 21 minutes on top of the fact he already made the segment last 40 minutes, The
An
Rock
hour.
The Rock intended to take up half a SmackDown.
Jesus Christ.
Um, but anyways, Seth and Cody are heading to SmackDown, and Cody ended the promo with they're going to give him the very obvious answer.
Yeah, which I think everybody saw coming once it was like
Right,
put out there. It's also
right.
been coming for a while though too. Uh, Look, it's going to be that there. It'll be interesting to see what occurs at Mania now with that. Well, tag match that's going to happen,
Yeah.
right? be interesting to see what
the
happens.
one that's not going to be announced till Friday.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's like how it's gonna go. Like after that, you're all good to go. But you know, look, that's good. That's gonna headline. That's gonna be night one. Wherever
Night
that
two is going to
Drew,
be, yeah,
wherever that Drew match and Seth match is gonna be, that'll be interesting.
that'll
I'm
be night
guessing.
two.
You think that's gonna be night two? Or you think that's gonna open up night one?
No, Seth and Drew's already being promoted as the co-main event of night two.
I don't say. Well, hold on. They say actually night two, or they just say co-main event. I
No, they
heard him
said
say.
co. They
I heard
said
him say
co.
co. I heard him say co-main event. I never heard him say night two.
I heard them say night two, co-main event of night two, and
Well,
I saw it on Twitter as well. So
cards subject to change, folks. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
yeah, um, but yeah, so we had Dom put up a decent showing against Gunther, and by the way, I texted you this during the show. Am I going crazy, or was Judgment Day over as fuck tonight?
And my response was, "It's a large Spanish community in Texas.
I suppose,
Yeah, it's pretty big. Like in
but like,
that southern
there was a
part of the
chant
U.S.
for
There is.
there was a chant for Balor during that match.
To be honest, the Judgment Day is like Sons of Anarchy.
Okay,
Okay, they're like it's almost like a biker gang, but not a biker gang. The way
fair,
they talk about Clubhouse is a reference to biker
fair,
gangs.
fair enough.
So I mean, they're kind of like Sons of Anarchy a little bit, right?
Yeah,
If you ever watched Sons of Anarchy, great show. Highly recommend you watch it. It's really good. It's 8 seasons or 7 seasons. You'll have a fantastic time watching it.
I've watched like the first two.
Oh, it's fantastic. I
Um,
have the whole thing on DVD. Yes, I have DVD still. Eat shit.
that's a conversation for off camera.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, I have thoughts about the fact that you should hang on to your physical media.
I enjoyed
Um,
it.
but we had an appearance from Damage Control. Shayna and Zoe took on Carter and Chance.
Yeah.
Uh, Zoe and Shayna picked up the win, challenged Kabuki Warriors, who actually have a tag title defense tomorrow. So,
Wondering with the tag belts right now. Um, Probably women's and men's. I wonder if they're gonna do like almost like a four-way
mm.
for
Oh, you mean like those showcase matches last year?
yeah, I think that's what they're gonna kind of do just to get everybody on the card.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be fun. Plus, it'd
Listen,
be fun for them.
listen. Those showcase are, especially the men's showcase match on night one,
Yeah,
was fucking bonkers. Um,
women's wasn't that great, unfortunately.
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
Um,
that great. It was kind of. I mean, I think actually last year didn't it follow the Brock match, Brock versus Almost match last year
the
in
women's
night
did,
two.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
it's
women's
kind of
did.
yeah, it's kind of hard to do that. I can understand that kind of thing.
Um,
Let's move. After that, it was
Becky and Nia.
yeah, something. I don't want to say it because it's probably not going to happen, but part of me feels it's going to be Rhea
Versus
versus
multiple
Nia.
people.
Yes, versus Becky
Please no.
versus Liv.
Please
I
no.
I almost feel that's good. I could be completely wrong.
I know, and they could just be like making us think about it.
Yeah, because it looks that way a lot right now, especially with Liv Morgan interfering in that match.
But that's just
Um,
but there's a legit storyline reason for that because
well, yeah, there is.
Liv was pissed off that Becky interfered in the match last week.
Yeah,
And
they're gonna fight next week.
they are gonna fight next week.
Yeah,
Um
I it's I kind of see it going to a four-way, but I kind of don't want to go to a four-way either.
right.
I rather have Liv do her own program with Rhea. I think you get a lot
Yeah,
out of that
yeah.
because we don't need to see Rhea versus Nia again. We've already done that. We just did that
I
a couple
I
weeks ago,
agree. Yeah, I agree.
right? Rhea, I mean, I can see them doing the 4-way. I don't think it needs to be a 4-way, but I can see it being a 4-way.
Right. Sami Zayn was confronted by Ivar backstage. They had a match. Sami won.
Yeah.
Valhalla put the antlers on Michael Cole.
Yes, he had a very good time with that. He now went viral apparently, with this thing on there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't a Texas deer though. Apparently, a Texas deer has 8 horns, where 8 antlers, whereas this was probably something smaller. It's
Thank you,
like
Pat
6.
McAfee.
Apparently, according to Pat McAfee, apparently he is a deer expert. I don't know anything about deer. I just know if you hit one, your car goes bye bye, and you might get hurt. So,
My buddy hit a deer, uh, probably 10 years ago.
I hit a deer.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm not that buddy because we didn't know each other then.
Yep. Totaled his girlfriend's car.
Told my own car.
Um, moving on.
Moving on, we got this debut, or re-debut, I should say,
Yeah.
of Andrade.
Yeah. His first match since returning at the Royal Rumble over a month ago.
Yeah.
But he picked up a win against Apollo Crews that for some reason still works there.
Wow.
Whatever.
Whatever, like we look fine. I, to be honest, I kind of like the gimmick he was doing in AEW with the whole black mask kind of thing with the Marvel and sorry DC, my mistake. Don't crap on me in the comments below, you DC Marvel fans, if you're out there. But like I kind of like that one there. I kind of want to do this like that here too, but more amplified. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Andrade looked good, and they're continuing to push kind of Judgment Day and Andrade, or at least Dom and Andrade together.
Yeah.
Dom even mentioned he was in the Gunther whipped his ass so bad he was in the trainer's room.
Yeah, he got beat up. Like he got beat up.
I mean, he put up a good showing, but like
Yeah.
Gunther whipped his ass.
Yeah.
But anyways, they were all backstage, and Andrade went in and checked on him, and Dom said something to the effect of, "Keep an eye on him. He could be big for Judgment Day."
Yeah.
So maybe they're looking at recruiting Andrade. But we'll see where that goes.
Yeah,
it's just hints and teases to get us thinking.
yeah, I don't know. It could also mean Dom moving in a different direction from the Judgment Day after the Judgment Day event, well, inevitably ends. So that could be it too. Yeah, that could be it. That too, right? So I mean, you never know. You gotta keep your eyes out, ears out for that one. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else?
Balor and Priest versus Imperium as well.
Yeah.
Good match.
Really good match. It kind of shows you
Kaiser and Vinci are growing on me.
They're a good tag team.
They're growing on me.
Where you have got it's hard to like they all should almost be on the same. They should almost be where Gunther is, and they're not.
I think from an in-ring standpoint, they are. I think it's just
I'm doing more like push standpoint. Yeah. That's kind of what I mean. Like ring wise, absolutely, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just talking like it's almost like to me, you should have Gunther as your IC champion, or eventually world champion, right? Because I'm assuming that's going to happen
and then
down
have
the line.
Vinci and Kaiser as the tag champs.
Yes, that's kind of how I see they should be kind
And
of portrayed right now.
That's probably Gunther's vision for Imperium.
Yeah,
because he holds them to such a high standard.
Yes.
If you remember right around the holidays, when Gunther took time off to go have his kid.
Yes.
He was like, "Hey, I'm the only one pulling any weight right now. Yeah. You two need to get your shit together."
Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about before we hit the main event, Adam Pearce announced how Gunther is going to find out who is going to face him at WrestleMania.
Yes.
We are gonna see the ever popular gauntlet match next week.
That's
Which
either going to be a turn into a shit show and
no,
turn
no,
into, and turn into everybody against Gunther, or it's going to be literally be one person.
it's gonna literally be one person because a gauntlet match is like a series of one-on-one matches tied into
Yeah,
one match,
I
right?
know. I
So
just I just feel it's going to happen one or the other.
no,
But
I think like if that's the direction they're going, I think it's probably Sami Zayn, and he's probably gonna do like the Seth Rollins Iron Man shit where he's gonna be in the ring for an hour.
it's either going to be Sami Zayn. Actually, they
So
really kind of
first, before
pushed
you get
Gable.
there,
They really pushed Gable too.
before you get there,
Hmm.
the competitors in the match
Yep.
are Shinsuke Nakamura,
Yep.
Ricochet,
Yep.
um,
Chad Gable.
Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed,
Hmm.
and JD McDonough. Uh, and yeah, they're they're gonna be competing in a gauntlet match next week. I expect Sammy to do the Iron Man shit. Sammy got jumped after his match by Bronson Reed, hit the tsunami. So Bronson Reed back on TV after his parental leave.
I think you know what. To be honest, you think it's going to be Sami Zayn? It's hard not to want to have um well either Gable, Zane, or Bronson Reed in there.
Like you have legitimate contenders there.
Yeah,
And
even Ricochet
th-
would be good.
this is what I like about how things are being booked right now
Yeah,
is like there's like it's really hard to predict. It's not so predictable like Vince's booking.
yeah,
Like you have three legitimate cases there.
absolutely do.
You have the overwhelming big threat of Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
You have Chad Gable, who wants payback on Gunther for September.
Hmm.
And then you have Sami Zayn, who's kind of on this kind of like John Cena 2018 kind of like, what's my road to WrestleMania?
Oh yeah.
Except Sami Zayn's not going to go challenge the Undertaker. but uh, but yeah, no.
No,
So
it's
I'm actually really looking forward to that next week.
yeah. It's really hard to say who I want. Like I I I think it might. I think they might just try to do I honestly like to see Bronson Reed.
Okay.
I
So
think Bronson.
I got Sammy, you got Bronson.
it's probably gonna be Sammy to be honest with you, but I'd like to see Bronson Reed do it. I think Bronson Reed versus Gunther would be a hell of a match.
Oh, I think it'd be a killer match too.
Like I think
I'm
it'd be
just
just a hell of a match.
I just think that they're trying to capitalize on Sammy, or they're trying to savor Sami Zayn in the sense of like he was one of the hottest baby
Faces last year,
faces
so
in the company in
yeah,
2023, and he's really cooled off.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
really cooled off. So I can
he's
see the momentum starting to build up again.
yeah. Like
Uh,
I mean, either one. I'll be like either one of those four. Actually, be honest, any one of those guys, I'd be interested to see for sure in that match. Like any one of those guys. That's kind of why I still kind of lean towards the whole put the title on a post and just go from there. Because
mm,
that could be a hell of a match. Like all those guys in one shot, that'd be good. That'd be really good.
yeah,
But we'll see what's gonna happen. There's still a month.
yep.
Speaking of which, I have both days of WrestleMania booked off for work, so I'll be watching WrestleMania for Saturday and Sunday's events. I'm looking forward to it.
I may have those days off too. It depends on what I got going on. But
Yeah,
um,
it's
yeah. So main event time, and
yes.
speaking of main event, it was main event Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre.
By the way, I love Drew's little promo before with Jackie Redmond before he went out there.
Yes,
Oh, I love Drew right now. He's great.
Drew's on the best character work of his whole career.
He really is.
Um,
He's a
so
junkie. He's a junkie.
So really good match. Boiled down to the finish. Uso hit a suicide dive, 3 super kicks, and a spear. As he went to go up top, Solo comes over the barricade. Cody's music hits. Cody takes out Solo. But Jimmy was standing at the commentary table, distracted Jay long enough for Drew to hit the Claymore.
Mhm.
Drew picked up the win. Then Seth came down as Jimmy was about to attack Jay with the chair.
Yeah.
Seth takes out Jimmy, but turns right around into the Claymore. Which, by the way, Seth did announce he's 100% clear now.
Oh, that's good.
He's 100% medical
Yeah.
clear. And then Drew stood over Seth, and that's how we closed Raw.
Drew is going to be the next world champion, and I think that like they have to cash. Like I know it was meant for they're going to cash in on they're going to cash in on Drew. Unfortunately, it's going to be cashed on Drew. It's
Yep.
going. He is going to lose his shit.
If it doesn't happen at WrestleMania, I guarantee it happens the Raw after.
Yeah, it's going to. It's gonna piss off that man.
So overall, what'd you give Raw? Down, up, middle?
To me, it was a middle.
I'll give it like a middle pointing towards up.
Yeah, I'm going middle like this, right? Because it progressed more towards WrestleMania. It wasn't
Perfect.
anything great. It was like it progressed towards WrestleMania. We can get you more an idea now of what that card is starting to look like.
Yep.
Right.
So WrestleMania is 1 month from tomorrow.
Yes.
As you guys hear this, it's 1 month from tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So I mean, buckle up, man. A lot of people at first were like at the Royal Rumble. A lot of people were kind of down on this WrestleMania card, and you know what?
Why? Why? The past two WrestleManias have been phenomenal. 100%. Like the first last two were great.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Both nights were great. Like a couple years ago, we had Austin close out night one. Then Reigns versus Brock was night two, right? Then
Yep.
last year, right? You had a bunch of killer matches with Rhea versus Charlotte.
You had Owens and Zayn
right?
main event night one,
Yeah,
and then you had Cody Roman night two.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
you had that killer match with Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew.
Speaking of Cody Roman one,
yeah,
there is some sick bastard that works for WWE's YouTube.
Yeah.
That put that match on YouTube on a loop for 8.5 hours and posted the video.
Wow.
It was just that match, all like 29 minutes of it on an endless loop.
Wow.
And it didn't even include the entrances.
That's crazy.
The jackasses.
Wow. You know what? It's
last piece of business before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman was announced as the first inductee for the Hall of Fame this year. Well deserved.
Absolutely. Depending on who they else they get to put in the Hall of Fame this year, I expect Heyman to close it out.
I think Heyman headlines it because it's in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Who else could you see put them in there?
Luger.
Think Luger?
Lex Luger, yeah. I could see that.
They haven't done Dave Bautista yet. He was supposed to go a couple of years ago, but due to the pandemic, he didn't go.
Might do Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
Lex Luger.
Are they probably gonna put Victoria in, you think?
Possibly.
Right? I mean,
possibly. I mean, I don't know. Hard to say. Now, I will ask you
this. I think Bray Wyatt goes in.
Ooh.
I think Bray goes in.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you one last question.
Sure.
Who inducts Paul Heyman?
There's a slew of guys you can do. You could do Austin. You could do, if you're gonna go ECW wise, it'd have to be Dreamer or Taz or the Dudleys.
You can't do Taz because Taz works for AEW.
Yeah, they might not let him do it. They might not. Although Billy Gunn did come over and get inducted to the
That was before
DX.
AEW. That was before AEW took off because
Yeah,
they went to do a DX reunion a couple of years ago,
yeah, he wasn't allowed
and
to go.
they didn't allow it.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
I think Dreamer probably.
do you think maybe they stick with current day storytelling and just have Roman Reigns do it?
I see Brock doing it. No, they'll no, they'll Brock's not doing it at all. They will. They're keeping him far away. Never mind. Actually, you know what? It could. It could be Bischoff. You know, I'm gonna stick with probably one of the Dudleys. Probably Dudleys.
Okay.
Or Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam
It could be Austin.
has recently worked. I think it's a toss up between Austin and Roman.
Yeah, because I say Austin. For those who don't know Paul Heyman's background, Austin, back when he was studying Steve Austin, was managed by Paul Heyman in WCW in the early '90s.
You could also get the Undertaker to do it.
You could, because he was also managed by Paul Heyman as well. You could also get almost any one of the Samoans.
Pretty much.
So there's a slew of guys. There's a slew of guys that could do it.
I think just to get people to tune in, I think that they'll get like Roman Reigns to do it because he'll probably do something like, I know everyone acknowledges me, but tonight we're acknowledging the wise man type deal. I could see that.
It could also be Triple H.
Triple H could do it, yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Also be Triple H. There's a slew like there's so you think of you think of Paul Heyman, you could think early WCW, you could think ECW, and you could think easily the early 2000s and up to now Paul Heyman. You could have Punk do it.
You could have Punk do it too. You're right.
You know, being the so-called first Paul Heyman guy. Like so, I mean, you know what? To be honest, if they're gonna go within house, it's either gonna be Austin. If it's within WWE, it's Punk, Austin, or Reigns.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Right. If you want to go ECW, it's probably the Dudleys or Dreamer, or both Dudleys and the Dreamer.
And then as we sign off, I'm going to do a quick shout out to Jason Kelsey and Josh Donaldson, both announcing their retirement today. Josh Donaldson, 2015 AL MVP for your Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Number 20, Bringer of Rain.
Also, sad news there. For Denver Broncos fans, your pain is over with Russell Wilson. He is out the door. Your Broncos are going to eat $85 million, but they're still going to pay him $39 million.
That's the dumbest move of all time. But so maybe we'll do another sports episode soon.
We haven't done a sports one in a while just to catch up on current events in sports because we're coming up to baseball season, guys. It's going to be interesting.
I still have our NHL predictions written down. So
we still do it right now. My predictions are looking pretty decent.
And then Jason Kelsey was the heart and soul of the Philadelphia Eagles for the last 13 years and one of the best centers to do it.
Yeah, he'll probably be in Canton in 5 years.
Oh, easily.
I don't know first ballot, but he'll definitely be in Canton at some point. He'll be on the ballot in 5 years.
I think he'll be first ballot because of how likable he is.
Yeah, he hasn't really done anything bad either in the media too. And to be honest,
the media loves the Kelseys.
Yeah, there's not a lot of centers in the Hall of Fame right now as there is to begin with. So
yeah,
5 years from now, I expect Jason Kelsey to be on that Hall of Fame ballot and probably going in. To be honest, his career might not really be 100% Hall of Fame worthy, but he was a very good center for years.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, center's a really hard one, but I mean, I don't want to get too in depth on this conversation.
No.
we'll save it for another time. But on that note, thank you for listening. Go check us out on YouTube, DA Wrestling Podcast. Find us on socials, DA Sports Podcast on Instagram. Do you still post on Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm not on
It's
Instagram,
been
so
it's been a while since I posted on Instagram. But yeah.
DA Sports Pod on X. You can find him, Apricel1982 on X, Andrew at DA Sports on TikTok. I'm DLions1991 on X, and we will catch you down the road.
Fiend Fire. There you go. Got it. Have a good night, everybody. Get them safe. Don't forget to tip your waitress.